Thank you.
No, we did the legislative updates.
One of the notebooks that we did for
Uh-huh.
ourselves.
All the
Yes.
questions.
I'll just bring mine.
Okay.
Anything else?
No. Okay, this is all mine.
Yeah.
Yep. This is what you passed out. Go backwards. Okay. Relation to here. Hey, and I've got a meeting at 9:30. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Mhm. Okay, so how do I know which ones are the yeses? If they've got notes?
Wonder what.
Okay, I'll look at it.
10 years.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Because you're not growing.
Where do you want to sit?
Renee, Max, or Renee, Jim, Max. Okay.
Closer to. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's two truckloads.
Yes.
It's not. I didn't know if you were everything from yesterday. Well, write it down too.
And Becky says that she did not receive it by designated bearer, that it was mailed to them.
Yeah, and I
And-
mentioned
and
that
it
to somebody,
was
and they just looked at me.
It was sent and received by the mail.
If you
Okay.
have, if you have.
Oh,
all
you were
these
just
available
meaning
voters
to
who
look
think they all vote certain
for
way.
that.
If you moved into
Yes,
another
because
district,
this
that
is
changes.
significant change.
That new district, yeah. That's good. When I was talking to Jeff, he's done this 5 times. I just, I've been through it 4.
Oh, yes.
You don't have us on this side.
Jennifer, you-
I didn't have you guys on that side,
I'm
just
gonna
like.
go there because there's too much heat coming out.
So you got this.
You go down to the other end.
Oh, no.
I don't have anything
Probably
in.
not.
It's funky on this side. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah, there's my seat on that here.
but it only goes to here, I think. That has, no chill with that one.
As long as I'm over here, we're kind of warm, I'm fine.
I gave- Just my name right here. That's always brings it up.
Renee is running late, she said. She said to start without her.
So that's 10 minutes, so.
Does she think she's gonna be?
I don't know, because this meeting I didn't think was gonna. be very long. Yeah, we'll check to make sure we live? Are we live?
We're live.
I don't know that.
Yes.
Just like he's gonna be 10.
And
Okay.
two.
Oh,
I see.
Two cents. Yeah, 2 pages. Did you see further directions? I mean, that's all.
That's all the 9 we have.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because the finance committee. Yeah. It does, doesn't it?
Did you read the paper? Just the $12 million. Various and sundry things. Now the prosecuting attorneys request for money.
I saw that.
70 some odd thousand dollars. We don't have that. And for all the talk about fiscal responsibility, you know, everybody was saying, oh, we all agree that people in the road department have to have raises. But they just threw bonus money from the ARP stuff at them, which is gonna go away. And then if you don't make good that amount of money, all those people are gonna be saying, wait a minute, you promised us.
Okay. So. is why.
Yes, because I was like,
You're not the wrong phone number. I'm like, and I'm not starting out the day well if I've already given out the wrong phone number.
and said, the article said it's been like, for a little over 24 hours.
Are we having another one of those days?
Yes, because the clerk, the city clerk in Elkins, I called her this morning and I asked if we could be back in the Elkins Community Center. She said she'd have to check, and I said, well, we have a meeting before 9:30. I said, you know, if you could call me back before then. And she finally emailed me. She said, I've been trying to call you.
I don't know if it's AT&T or what, but the county has that problem way too often.
Yes, we do, which, so is it AT&T? So I need to get with Trish. I need to send out an email to all the supervisors to make sure they all have a Verizon phone in their mix.
I've seen days when I was working in the office just across. I would have to come over here to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
because the phones wouldn't work.
Yeah. And then, and because you may not realize it for a while because the Verizon phones are working. So you're like, well, I'm still getting some phone calls, you know, so. Make sure I have January 11th, 2022 and all of that. You already looked at this one. Yep. Oh.
I'm Max.
Hello, how you guys doing? Oh, pretty well. Am I here? This is Renee. It's always
You can sit at the other table.
Renee. Well, it's not me. Oh, man.
We could start talking about the December 9th uprising. You're gonna take the chair.
So,
Give you something to write about.
I think the one on the end is a little bit
Oh,
taller.
Yeah, it looks like it's a
Thank
little
you.
taller.
yeah, it's this. Chairs are the screwiest thing.
I need to go through here and mark the ones that are tallest so that we can at least say, well, it's taller than that.
Right? Oh, yeah, that's much better. Thank you. Oh,
It's not the one sitting in the chair and you're like right here that.
yeah, I know.
Right.
And your knees are bent on the ground because you're.
Yeah. The only thing that's good for is when you're.
Shovel it in. Yeah, shovel it in.
Always about eating.
I look on the bright side.
Here is hot.
It's hot over on that side, I'll tell you that.
Is it really?
Okay, that one is turned off completely.
Okay.
So if you want to turn that one down, it will turn off.
Okay. It says off at 70. So I should mess with this one,
Yes.
if anything.
Are you authorized to do that?
I feel like I'm able to touch the button, so I'm authorized.
You had a proper amount of training,
Yeah.
you have a certificate.
Yeah. Certified in HVAC manipulation.
Next.
Is that another minutes?
No, that's
It's a,
absentee application we'll need to discuss.
Yeah, yeah.
I do have
Okay.
it.
Renee is running a little bit late. She said to start the meeting without her.
Okay.
But the items we have are all items to be voted on. So I don't know what the commission, what you want to do in regards to that. We can discuss this absentee application. It's pretty benign in regards to the discussion.
I mean, we
How the
could-
commission wants to proceed.
Yeah. Was there only one set of minutes?
There's only one set of minutes.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to let it get behind.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, that's good. Yeah, no, that's great. I appreciate that. I saw the email and I didn't look at all the attachments, so I thought maybe.
Well, in order to proceed, do we have? Guess we have to bring the meeting to order.
Yes. Yeah, and we can proceed with just two commissioners. And we can vote on everything with just two commissioners, but I know Renee will be here.
But, you know, to me, it seemed like if we wanted to, call the meeting to order, we could go ahead and approve the minutes.
Okay.
Start a discussion on this, tape out.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
You've been here longer than I have, call this thing.
All right, the meeting is called to order.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, hilarious, right? Are we on, the?
We
YouTube?
are, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
So,
Yeah, do you have any changes
I
with
don't have any
minutes?
change.
Okay, I suppose the minutes are approved as written. Item 2, map approval for the redistricting.
I think we said we would go ahead and maybe skip that, just talk about this.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
the
not-
thing. Yeah, got it.
It's not listed on your agenda. It's just,
Oh, okay.
we just discovered it this morning. So, this all has to do with part of the new absentee laws in regards to designated bearers and designated bearer signatures. So on this application for this absentee ballot application or voter, if you'll notice that there is a signature at the bottom for a designated bearer.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Okay, so this ballot, however, was mailed to the voter and was mailed back. This application is one that she fills it out for the entire year. And this election came up. They
Yeah.
called this voter because they had to determine which ballot style the voter wanted. And a designated bearer did not pick up her ballot. There just is a signature there. This signature causes the absentee ballot to be treated as a provisional. And so basically the commission would treat it as provisional but would ultimately count it unless there's a reason for us to not count it.
So we don't know yet whether there's a reason not. to
There
count
is
it.
not, so we have,
You just think
we-
there might be.
well, no, we have verified that her statement and application match because we canvassed at 9:00 this morning. We have one absentee ballot. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
it. So we have canvassed the absentee ballot. Her voter statement and her application match, her signature matches. So there's no reason to not count the ballot. So the commission can, go ahead and let us accept this one.
Sure, yeah.
But we will have to bring all of these forward to the commission for review going forward.
It's just confusing to the voter. It's the signature voter, and then it looks like you're supposed to have someone else sign right there, right? Like it looks like, you know, you're
That-
required to have another signature. I mean, just being a person reading
Right.
the application.
Well, that and also, so let's say that, hey Renee, sorry. Let's say that she did get someone to pick up the ballot for her. So there would be a signature here, but she mailed the ballot back, which is perfectly legal. We would still have this situation because there's a signature on one document, but not a signature on the other document. So all of these that are legal ways to return absentee ballots, because of the way that the law is written, will be treated as provisional and have to come before review for the election commission. So this is just a taste of what we're going to see.
But, that being said, she mailed it back.
She mailed it back, which is
Nothing was
perfectly
wrong with
legal. Nothing was
anything
wrong
that
with
she did.
anything incorrect. So the commission can accept this absentee ballot, but I can't, and my crew can't just automatically accept them. We will have to bring them forward. Probably what we'll do is bring them forward to you in a batch. Say all of these had a signature on this line, but will return the legal way. Their paperwork is all good, and just let you do an acceptance of all of
Does
those.
it require a motion, or do we wait for you to do that later, or do it now?
I think the commission can do it now. It just came up. We could wait and do it election night, but this would let us go ahead and count the ballot election night
Yeah.
and not have to wait.
Are you ready to
Further.
accept the motion?
Yeah, if there's no problem with it, you've gone through, but it's just gonna be a formality in
Yes.
some ways, but an extra step that we have to take. So, yeah, if you want a motion now,
I'll make a motion that we accept this ballot.
Second.
okay, all in favor? Aye. All right.
Carried.
And it'll just be counted as a regular
As
vote.
a regular, yes.
We already approved these minutes.
Okay, I apologize for my lateness.
So you'll be on those.
All good.
You beat me.
Yeah, I know, lucky.
Listen, these. Understand.
1 minute before.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so where are we on the agenda? We're on 2, okay, we're talking about maps now. Yes. Okay. Let me say again, before we actually move into that, we had more comments. You passed those on to the commissioners, correct? And we appreciate the comments. We did have some comments from JPs, and we appreciate their bringing certain things to our attention. As it turns out, the changes that they requested are just simply not going to work. And at this late date, we just need to move forward with what we have. And again, those will go in the record of all of the comments that we've received.
Yes, I've kept PDFs of all of them, and we'll attach them with the documents.
Okay.
So that we have.
And those are for the public to examine if they wish.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's just move into the map approval of number 9. Jeff, do you have comments beforehand?
Well, we did look at the areas that we talked about 6 different areas. And fortunately, between the previous plan that went to public comment and the changes that we made in anticipation of what the House and Senate line changes may be, they they did make most all those changes, except that one that we discussed down there by the western boundary of Prairie Grove School. We looked at those other areas about the possibility of adjusting some of the lines to fit new house or senate lines. And none of it worked out that we could make the shift and still stay within the range.
Yeah.
All of them put us out of the deviation.
This is because of the blocks, the census blocks. And that type
In
of thing.
part.
Well, that, yes, sir, that's part of it because of the shape of the census blocks and the population. We didn't split any census blocks anywhere in the county. So in some cases, that was the reason. Other cases were that they changed the house line or senate line. So we looked at that area to see, could we adjust that over there and avoid setting a precinct or two up? And there just wasn't any,
Creates other issues. Or creates other issues.
oh, yes, sir. Yeah,
Which would cause effect on throughout the map. Affect
other districts and
and they-
yes, it's just kind of a domino
Snowballs.
effect.
Yeah.
When you change one, it changes at least another one. And does it keep that in the range or does it not? And the answer was not in all those cases except for one. And in that case was the one down in the very southern part of Fayetteville city limits near Greenland. And that was where they came with a house line that went like a heart. And they changed that, but regardless, there was 2 precincts that was going to have to be set up regardless. So we felt that we should follow, in that case, go ahead and follow the city limit line down there. That's what the clerk, that is a voting district boundary line. So,
Well, we appreciate you looking at the changes. You can only
Yeah.
do so much with the map.
Right. You've done a remarkable job getting this all squared away.
I agree.
And we
Be very
appreciate you.
patient with us.
Yes.
my staff.
And we need
Christina.
patience. Yeah, please relay our thanks
I
to
will,
Christina. Okay, so are we ready to proceed then? I will entertain a motion
I will
to
move-
accept this one.
I will make a motion to accept this plan 9 as
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the map is approved and we
So-
need now to,
So it's a 2-part process for the approval. This first part, basically, you're approving the map as presented.
right there.
Right there, and it's also attached.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
already started working on what the public notice will be, and that public notice is attached to this document for you to sign. But the second part that you will need to approve before Becky can publish everything is a written description. Isn't that what we come in conclusion? That
It was actually done first 10 years ago than the map, and what it requires is that that the board approve, after the apportionment plan is approved and filed with the clerk, then the clerk's got to publish it in the paper. And what happened last time, I think, did you have it on the back of that?
that's the one that Christina just did for us,
Right.
but the other one looks exactly like that, just different.
But it was published, I forget what the date was, the 3rd of October, 10 years ago. And then the narrative report was actually a week later.
Oh,
So, and I think that was based on the gentleman that was at the, Tim Humphreys, it was at the State Board of Election Commission. Yeah. And it was his opinion that the boundaries, the map constitutes the boundaries. And
So those all need to be narrated and
yes,
recorded?
Yeah. Just to make sure there is a record other than the map. You know, and of course, the narrative description says, at the end, it says, if there's any question between the narrative document and the map rules. That's, Tim said that, in his opinion, the boundaries are the map.
So what is this narrative, or there's some
Well,
rules
Is it a
or
legal
recommendations
description
of
then?
what this is supposed to say?
That's
Yeah,
kind
like
of what
a
I'm
meets and
thinking.
bounds property description.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It is. And it can be meets and bounds, or it can be, you know, the way we did it before was that, you know, and I'm working on it right now.
So you're working on.
I've got it on the wall at the office, and I'm about halfway done.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna ask our lawyer.
Don't look at me, I'm not getting paid.
So for example, District 3, 10 years ago, all the voting districts, and these are voting districts as numbered by the Census Bureau, which may be different than what the clerk's office shows. You know, you may say precinct 26,
Mhm.
and the Census Bureau may call it 054. But there's an equivalency, they're the same
Yeah.
thing. But the census lines up with the blocks, so the block number and everything. So for District 3, for example, all the voting districts, 054, 55, 82, 83, 85, and 81, except that part line north of Washington County Road 910 and west of Nichols Road, and it's got the population. So it's just a matter of record, follow up. And I think you could do those separately, or you could do them all together, or however you want to do it.
So, because I was looking at that to see when the clock starts ticking, because
Right.
basically, basically all we've done today is just approve the map, and then, we still have to, the commission still has to sign off on this. But for Becky's publication, so once we turn this over to Becky, she has 15 days to publish it in the paper. I almost think and I can't tell, I looked at what Benton County did, the information that you sent me from Benton County, and then the information that we had from the Secretary of State's office. It almost looked like, once we file the written description, the 15 days start.
Now, do we just need to file that, or does that also need to be published in the paper?
The map's what needs to be published.
Okay,
The
the map.
public notice.
Okay.
That's the public notice. Here's the map, which shows the boundaries, and these are the populations. They'll all be in the public notice that Becky did.
Okay, so this is just, sort of an addendum.
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and publish it if we thought we needed to publish it, and I can clarify with the SOS's office. But the only thing they've sent us is basically what Jeff is working on right now, and then just the commission sign. So,
Do we make this a declaration or a notification or what?
it's just let's see, what did he call it? Called it,
I can read the first and last paragraph.
Okay, yeah, okay, go ahead.
It's apportionment of county quorum court districts. The Washington County Election Commission approved the apportionment of quorum court districts on October 10th, it says. Which is the date of this thing too. I believe. This action was taken pursuant to Arkansas Code Annotated 1414-405, according to the 2010 decennial census. Washington County's population increased from such and such to so-and-so, and as such, county was required by law to increase from 13 to 15 the number of quorum court districts. 2010 census public law data was used there's a typo in here. So the word is as, and it's got too many as. Used in the geographic mapping and the demographic representation, they are consistent with the Census Bureau's terminology. Voting districts, precincts, are referred to as VTDs. That's in the census data. The descriptions of each quorum court district and the number of inhabitants therein follows. And it's got all the various narrative descriptions. A map showing the adopted quorum court portion of plan, including the boundaries and the population of each district, is attached here too and made a part here. I would agree with you.
Yeah. then I think we-
These locations and boundaries of Washington County VTD cited here in are a matter of permanent record as part of the 2010 census, Public Law 92-171, of course, for district data. Should questions arise concerning the locations or boundaries of adopted quorum court districts, the map shall be the authority. The first use of these new districts for filings and electoral purposes shall be in 2012. So
It
the
doesn't,
effect- so
it
the-
doesn't set a date though, it just says 2012.
Yeah, it shall be for filings and electoral purposes,
Yes.
shall be.
For filing.
So that'll clear up any questions about the effective date. Pursuant to 14-14-405, the county clerk has caused to be published in a newspaper, general circulation in the county, the district boundaries, apportion, and the number of inhabitants within it. This report and all records associated with this apportionment are on file with the clerk of the Washington County Court. And that's it.
And then the one that which is very similar, it just says adopted this
Okay.
day. So then the commission would all sign out that. So I think that the clock doesn't start ticking for Becky to publish in the paper until the commission actually signs this document. So I changed the letter that you signed today to just clearly says you have chosen map 9. That's it.
Are we going to, is that going to be published now? Chosen that now?
We will update our website, but we need to wait until this report and then publish.
When do you think you'll have that?
I'll have it by the end of the week.
So, and we meet
What's
on,
today, Thursday?
today's Thursday. We meet on the 14th election night, so the commission can approve it election night. And then that will allow Becky to have it published next Sunday in the paper. So,
I don't just want.
Yeah.
This whole, I apologize for the confusion. I didn't know how we did it 10 years ago. And we had this discussion with Tim at the time. And it was our thinking that he needed narrative descriptions as well. And he was like, well, everybody's, as far as I'm concerned, the map is boundaries, that's okay. So,
But it
so we
doesn't
went the
hurt.
extra step and did both.
Doesn't hurt to cover our bases with a specific description.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, well, so we're down the road a little further, but we're not done.
well, unless you approve the map, you can't really write the
That's
description.
true,
I mean,
yeah.
quite honestly,
Exactly.
otherwise you'd be writing descriptive narratives for 9 plans.
That's true.
So we definitely don't.
Yeah.
want-
Good point. Oh, my goodness, yeah. Well, we appreciate your continuing to work on this. And we'll go ahead and get that clock started sometime after next week.
We will just add it to as a meeting, election night.
Yeah.
You will sign the narrative description and then we'll file it in the clerk's office the next day. She has until Thursday at 3 o'clock to get it to the newspaper to be published on Sunday.
Okay, super. All right, moving on. Polling locations for the January 11th election.
So for the December 14th election, we were not able to be in the Elkins Community Center. They already had a conflict, but for the runoff election and for the general election, I would suggest that we go back to the Elkins Community Center. It is our polling location that we have used, and unless the commission makes a change, we'll use as our polling location going into 2022. It's well established. It's an early vote site. And so I think that we should make that move back, but the commission will need to sign a notice of like basically just the polling locations in order to do that for the January 11th election. That deadline for us to change the polling locations is 30 days before the election, so we are close, but within the 30 days. So the commission would need to make a motion to accept the polling locations for January 11th as I have presented on this document, which would be the Awakening Church, Elkins Community Center, Ellendale Baptist Church, First Church of the Nazarene, and Sonora Baptist Church.
Did we already approve all of the other ones except for Elkins previously, or did we?
So Elkins is the only change.
Okay.
So you can say we want to change from First Baptist Church of Elkins to Elkins Community Center for this election, or just approve the list as is. Yes. And that is up to the question on if they want to do that. If you don't want to do that, it will stay as the First Baptist Church of Elkins for the December 4th, or for the January 11th election.
Those other locations are all the same. just some
The other
portion.
locations are all the same, yes.
That's fine. I'll make a motion to approve the list you presented.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Signature on that. So sorry. Sure. Notice of election for the February 8th City of Fayetteville special election.
So this is updated to show the actual candidates. We've discussed the
that's
polling
right,
locations inside the city of Fayetteville, and the commission had already approved Central United Methodist, St. Avenue Baptist Church, Sequoia Methodist Church, and Trinity Methodist. However, because we're also doing the general election for the state Senate District 7, those polling locations also need to be added to this notice of election because voters can vote at any location. So I have added the Awakening Church, Elkins Community Center, not the Baptist Church, Elkins Community Center, Ellendale Baptist Church, First Church of the Nazarene, and Sonora Baptist Church. So the commission would need to approve basically these additional 5 locations for the city of Fayetteville special election.
It's just the combined notice, basically.
This one, is just for the city of Fayetteville. I can't do one for the general election because I don't know the candidates
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
So
Good point.
it's like this, this
Okay.
February 8th election will be piecemealed together.
Yeah.
And they both have different deadlines of when we do things because of the general election being a runoff and a special election.
But if we add those all in for Fayetteville, they'll be the same when you get your candidate.
Exactly.
Okay.
This notice also reflects though for the March, if there's a possible March 8th runoff election for the city of Fayetteville, we would only have open Central, Sang, Sequoia, and Trinity. Because there's no need to open up the
yeah.
5.
Veterans, the Senate.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
good.
this,
Oh, my
so this notice also
Okay.
reflects that as well. So we've taken care of that potential 30-day notice for the runoff. So this is what I have. You will need to make a motion because it is for polling location
Yes.
to approve those as presented.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
And then I will update the website to reflect for the city of Fayetteville election, these additional polling locations.
This has certainly gotten involved. Here you are, sir. That's the two things.
That is included in there. We will do
Oh,
just one
okay.
day of canvassing early on the Thursday before the election. And then election night will be in room 115 here, and then the runoff polling location. So
Okay. Here we thought we were gonna have a quiet end of the year and the beginning of next year. Wow. Okay, y'all have a record of all these upcoming meetings. Any questions about those?
Not really. It's the 16th or the 17th, right? One or the
Yes.
other.
Yeah.
13th, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, any conflicts with those at this point? I hope not.
I don't think so. The 28th, I might be gone. I just do it remotely, I guess,
Okay.
if we have to
Yeah.
have that meeting.
Yeah, well, that one was,
Play it by ear,
yeah,
see
that
if we
one
have
was,
it.
sort of, tentative at this point, correct?
the December the
Yeah.
28th one, that would be an LNA certification
Oh,
if we
that's
can't get it completed earlier.
Yeah,
So certainly it could be done by Zoom, or done with two commissioners. That would be
Yeah,
the
that's
only thing that would be being signed, for that election. And so, yeah.
other business. Gentlemen? All right, if you have no other business?
No.
Yeah, no other business from you? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Yes, the January 18th ballot draw definitely is happening.
Yes, we will
Yeah.
definitely have a ballot
I
draw,
don't
yes.
think I had that one on it before.
Oh, yeah.
We could, now, if there is no runoff, we can shift dates because
Right.
we would be able to do a ballot draw earlier.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We might consider that. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
How you doing that?
I'm gonna do this.
You're good.
Yeah, okay.
That was the one that was already basically last time. No changes, yeah.
Were we on?
Yes, oh, yeah, we can.
Okay, because I don't see that one with green there.
So there is a phone issue. So if you have an AT&T phone and you try and call the county, you will not get through.
Okay.
Have a good one. And so we
Yeah, I